Hi, this screencast is going to be walking through the iBook, the physics iBook, learn how to navigate it, what the features it has, and how to use those features so you kind of optimize how you use the book to learn best with the curriculum, with the physics curriculum. So what I wanted to point out is that if you haven't already purchased or used an iBook for another class, our book is not a Pearson book, so you don't need the Pearson app if you have it in other classes. All you need is that little iBook app right there. So I'm going to go ahead and open the iBook app, and it shows me, my bookshelf. So that's the kind of the library of what I have on my bookshelf. The physics book, our text, is the one there on the left-hand side. Go ahead and click on that, and that's the cover of the textbook. So you can tap anywhere on the screen, and if you're not on the cover, I'm going to flip over one page, I get to the table of contents. Tap on the screen on any page other than the cover, and you get that toolbar that comes down. And you can go back to the library by clicking on the library word. Oops. By clicking on the library word right there, it'll take you back to the bookshelf. Or if I click on that tab right there, I can go to the table of contents, which I'm actually already at. This is what your table of contents page looks like. Or I can go to a glossary. So table of contents is right along here on the bottom. These little white dots represent different chapters. So the third dot is chapter 1, the first dot's the cover, second dot's just this preface material, third dot's chapter 1, and so on. Fourth dot would be chapter 2. So if I click on the fourth dot, I'm going to get to chapter 2 right there. So there's chapter 2. All the pages in chapter 2 are along the bottom. So you can scroll to any page within the chapter, like these little thumbnails on the bottom. You can just click on one. I'll go to page 76 right here, and there's page 76 in the iBook. Now, the pages in the iBook do not correspond to pages in the hardcover text. If you happen to have a hardcover text of this, if you went out and bought it, I don't know why you would, you don't need it, but if you did, the pages do not agree. The content's exactly the same, pages are different. So I'm just kind of scrolling through here in the iBook, and I'm going to show you some of the features, some of the things you can do in any iBook. So this isn't specific to the physics book. Notice when I click on the page again, I get the toolbar. I'm going to go ahead and actually, before I show you that, I'm going to show you how to highlight. I need to open my stylus here. So to highlight, you simply hold your stylus down at some point on the page, and it's going to kind of show you this little selection of the word that you were touching. So you can define it. You can actually have your iPad speak the entire selection if you wanted to. It can read it to you. And you have to actually set that in general settings to allow the iPad to speak the text out to you. So I'm going to choose the highlight option, and then I can change the selection. Oops. There we go. I can change the selection to highlight, that entire portion right there. So you can change a highlight color. You can actually get rid of the highlight by clicking on the wastebasket. It goes away. So you can do a lot of different things there. Notice that you can also create a note. I'm going to go ahead and create a note by selecting Note, and then that little bubble pops up to the right. And I can say, oh, remember this for the test. And then you click anywhere on the page. And the fact that you've got a note there is represented by that little yellow square off to the left side. So that's useful for highlighting important passages. That little icon right there is kind of like a manager of your notes and other things that are called study cards. So this thing right here, when I hit that in chapter 2, I've got one note. This is the one highlight with a note. Here's what I highlighted, the passage that was highlighted, and there's my note to myself. Jump down to chapter 7. I've got another thing right there. If you noted, sorry, I should have pointed this out. I went right down to chapter 7 because I saw it had a 1 next to it. If I wanted to see my highlighted section in chapter 7, I could see that too. Again, remember for the test. The science of physics, I have 2 things highlighted. Seems like I keep making the same note, remember, for the test. But these are just examples of different things that I've highlighted. So you can, again, access that through this little icon right here up at the top. That kind of shows you, it's like a manager for all of your notes and things like that. Let's see what else. You can search the text with the little magnifying glass right there. You can bookmark a page over there on the right hand side. Okay, so I can actually create a bookmark on this page. Then if I navigate somewhere else and I want to go back to my bookmark, it starts to list all the bookmarks here. I can either also add the bookmark of this page, or I can just choose that first selection there was showing me that the page that I had already bookmarked a minute ago, and it jumps right back to that page. So if you need to navigate in the iBook, you can easily jump back to the page you were just on by using that feature. You don't have to worry about memorizing the screen or anything like that. So use that bookmark feature because it is really useful. You can change the size of the font with that little A, big A right there. Some other stuff you can do under that study cards icon. If I click on study cards, the iBook already has a lot of glossary terms already included in the software and the package that you bought. So for each chapter, there's a different set of glossary terms, and so you can actually scroll through these, and you can do that by flipping the card, and it'll tell you what instantaneous velocity is. The velocity of an object at some instant or at a specific point in the object's path. So you can scroll through these. There's a bunch of different ones for each chapter. Really useful, if you're trying to help yourself remember what these terms are. Pretty much those are the main features of the iBook. I'm going to tell you that you should use this just like you use a textbook. It actually has some features that your textbook wouldn't have as far as writing the notes. You'd have to physically write something over in the margin, and then you don't have any way to sort them or compile them all in one place because they're on all different pages of your actual hard copy text. Here you've got a way to kind of organize your notes and quickly see all the notes and the highlights that you made for a chapter in one glance. So it's really kind of a cool thing. If you have questions on how to use the iBook that I didn't cover in this little session, by all means, come see me before or after class. We'll talk about it. I'll help you out. But I do think it's a really useful tool, and I hope you use it extensively. Okay, thank you.